She didn't get back.
Hey,
Hey,
how's everybody doing? Good morning, good evening, good noon, and good night.
there she is.
Yes,
Just
the
in time.
world can start now. Susan's back. Thank you, Susan, for coming back.
I got headphones.
Appreciate you joining. We're all just sitting here waiting for you.
Don't listen to Gerard. It was like 2 seconds.
That needs to stop. Sometimes I go too far.
Okay.
Good evening.
Don't work.
Happy Friday, everybody. How's everybody doing? We're here to talk about ancient knowledge, forbidden knowledge, and all that great stuff. The stuff that we forgot that your kings and your lords are keeping from you.
Mhm.
That's my best Texas accent. Damn it. Be careful.
I have been watching a lot of Matthew LaCroix
Yeah,
lately.
he's good.
He's great.
Who's Matthew LaCroix? Why is that name
Yeah, I
sound?
don't know him either.
Oh,
because
you
I
should
don't
check him out on
listen.
YouTube, Gerard. He's got great
Matthew?
videos. Yeah, ancient archaeology.
Okay.
Lots of stuff on Neolithic, Analytic sites. Göbekli Tepe, Chichen Itza, the pyramids. You name it. He's really, really, really good.
He did a thing with Billy Carson that
Yeah.
that I think you shared a video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
He did.
Yeah.
I share I used to share so much. I really don't share much anymore. Facebook prison gets old.
Yeah.
All right. Right.
Hardly.
I have to check it out. Look like everybody's here.
A lot about, like,
Thomas is here. We got Courtney. Melissa is here. We got Robert Walker. The whole family is here. We're doing Emerald Tablets today. What are we doing?
Yes.
We are going to talk about Emerald Tablets today again.
Either that or we're going to Facebook prison. If you let Christine talk about Del Bigtree from yesterday, we're going to be in big trouble. So what tablet are we on?
Number four. So yeah.
Remind me, what was 3 about?
Wisdom. No, there was some numerology in it, and number 3 was called the Key of Wisdom, and it was basically some direct advice, such as do not exalt yourself, silence is of great profit, advice like that. That was 3, and some very, very practical real life things. 4 is called the Spaceborn, and Thoth the Atlantean talks about it begins with his time in Atlantis and his struggles to become awakened. And so I think that's what we're going to talk about today. So yeah.
Good.
I don't remember.
Don't look at
Sorry,
me like that, Gerard.
Huh?
I'm
scare me.
beginning. Yeah, 40 struggle. My birthday is the 31st.
It's really 4 is beautiful too. It's one of my favorite tablets.
But it's
Ooh, yes. We need to do Atlantis. Yes. We need
I love
Atlantis
it.
to come save us from the Bill Gatesians.
Yeah, they have. There is a chapter on Atlantis in there.
Yes.
And there is a nice book about Atlantis from someone, kind of like what is the book? The Egyptian book, the Initiation. But it's from also a person,
Yes.
the same as that, and she remembers her life in Atlantis, and it's a beautiful book.
Right.
And I forgot the name, but I'm gonna try to. I will put it later on Facebook or something. It's a very beautiful book, and she was a priestess in Atlantis. Very beautiful, and she when the apocalypse became, she could escape with 8 people. They escaped. I think only 8 people escaped.
Mhm.
from the apocalypse.
We're in the apocalypse now.
Yeah, but we are with, we have, yeah. Hopefully we escape. I mean,
Only 8 of us.
only eight, Atlantis, only 8, and they got somewhere in, in another continent. They arrived and very not yet developed. So a continent for them it was too difficult because they couldn't handle the vibrations and they died because they were from higher vibration.
Mm-hmm.
And they died early. They lived maybe a few years and most of them died. Anyhow, it's a nice book. You have to read it.
Most of them died. It's a nice book.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, but you see, I have no
So, y'all are among the people who think Atlantis was a real place.
I don't think there's any doubt anymore.
No, there's no doubt in my mind. Yeah. I don't even know how people can, I mean, just the fact alone that modern humans have been here for at least 200,000 plus years, confirmed with science. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like real science, but I'm saying it's probably longer than that because the King's List goes back 432,000 years. And there was a comet wipeout impact 432,000 years ago. So, yeah, we've done these cycles a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently we don't learn shit.
Well, I'm not sure TV would agree with that assessment. I think the television and Rockefeller science would tell you that you've only been here for 200,000 years, and you mostly come from cavemen and cave women who wore grass skirts and beat each other over the head with clubs.
Oh, yeah, but that was my point. For 200,000 years, we didn't do shit. We were this. We were this. That's like, you know, what do we do? We have cell phones and stuff. I don't know, whatever. Whatever progress considered. The epitome of mankind is this. You know what I mean? But yeah, and so we did nothing for 200,000 years, and then 5,000 years ago, they built these magnificent stone things that we can't figure out, and now we have cell phones. That's the history of mankind. Like, really, you think that's how it went down? I don't.
Okay. I don't. I know. That is not how my brain works. So.
Gerard was the king of Atlanta. I'm reading Courtney's comment. You were the king of Atlantis, Gerard, according to Courtney. There we go.
I could have been. You never know.
Been. Mm-hmm.
Never know.
Yep.
Or I could have been the janitor.
The one who blew everything up. The
I was
just gonna say.
I missed that. What? I missed it.
The one who blew everything up, you know? That
could have been.
They used.
You were the king that blew everything up, and I was thinking it.
I was the Bill Gates of Atlantis. Everybody the cure.
I don't think that was you.
It'll be the perfect cover up. Could have been.
Yeah, then you're nice. Okay.
Should we tell the studio audience what we're doing today?
Yeah, maybe.
Live studio.
No.
So we're gonna continue on with the emerald tablets. We're going to talk about the 4th emerald tablet today. See, I get serious, and then what happens? Gerard, poof, he's gone.
Back with nipples soon. Don't worry about it.
Oh, there's you back.
There he is.
Go anywhere, yeah.
All right, there
I didn't go anywhere.
Anyway.
I didn't go anywhere. I'm right here.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the 4th emerald tablet today and discuss it. I'll read it, and then we'll discuss it and do our usual thing. So,
I'm working the soundboard. That's all.
You are? Special effects.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we're gonna have spaceship blow up noises and stars. Yeah, it'd be great.
That'll probably be gas, but yes, that's exactly what it is. Blowing up. All right.
So should I read some or are we
Let's
ready?
jump in.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this is the fourth Emerald Tablet, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. We read the third one last week. This is called The Spaceborn. Oh man, listen to the voice of wisdom. Listen to the voice of Thoth the Atlantean. Freely I give of my wisdom, gathered from the time and space of this cycle. Master of mysteries, son of the morning, living forever as a child of the light, shining with brightness, star of the morning. Thoth, the teacher of men, is of all. A long time ago, in my childhood, I lay beneath the stars on long buried Atlantis, dreaming of mysteries far above men. Then in my heart grew a great longing to conquer the pathway that led to the stars. Year after year, I sought after wisdom, seeking new knowledge, following the way, until at last my soul, in great travail, that sounded really Texan, in great travail, broke from its bondage and bounded away. I was free from the bondage of earthmen, free from the body. I flashed through the night. Unlocked for me at last was the star space. I was free from the bondage of night. Now I sought wisdom to the end of space, far beyond the knowledge of finite man. Far into space my soul traveled freely, into infinity's circle of light. Strange beyond knowledge were some of the planets, great and gigantic, beyond the dreams of men. Yet I found law in all of its beauty, working through and among them as here among men. My soul flashed forth through infinity's beauty. Far through space, I flew with my thoughts. I rested there on a planet of beauty. Strains of harmony filled the air. There were shapes moving with order, great and majestic as stars in the night, mounting in harmony, in ordered equilibrium, the symbols of the cosmic, like unto law. I passed many stars on my journey, passed many races of men on their worlds. Some reached as high as stars of the morning. Some fell low in the blackness of night. Each and all of them were struggling upward, gaining the heights and plumbing the depths, moving at times in realms of brightness, living through darkness, gaining the light. Oh man, know that light is your heritage. Know that darkness is only a veil. Sealed in your heart is eternal brightness, awaiting the moment of freedom to conquer, waiting to rend the veil of the night. Some I found who had conquered the ether, free of space. They yet still were men. Using the force that is the foundation of all things, they constructed a planet far out in space, drawn by the force that flows through the all, condensing and coalescing the ether into forms. It grew as they willed, surpassing in science all of the races, were mighty in wisdom, were sons of the stars. For a long time, I paused, watching their wisdom. From out of the ether, I saw them create gigantic cities of rose and of gold, formed from the primal element, from the base of all matter, the ether, far flung. Far in the past, they had conquered the ether and freed themselves from the bondage of toil. They formed in their mind only a picture, and swiftly created, it grew. Then my soul sped forth through the cosmos, seeing ever new things and old, learning that man is truly space-born, a son of the sun, a child of the stars. O man, know that whatever form you inhabit is surely one with the stars. Your bodies are nothing but planets, revolving around their central suns. When you have gained the wisdom of all wisdom, you shall be free to shine in the ether, one of the suns that lights outer darkness, one of the space-born grown into light. Just as the stars in time lose their brilliance, their light passing from them into the great source, so, O man, the soul passes onward, leaving behind the darkness of night. You were formed from the primal ether, filled with the brilliance that flows from the source. Bound by the ether, coalesced around, yet ever it flames until at last it is free. Lift up your flame from out of the darkness. Fly from the night, and you shall be free. I traveled through the time-space. My soul at last was set free, knowing that now I might pursue wisdom, until at last I passed to a plane hidden from knowledge, known not to wisdom, an extension beyond all that we know. O man, when I had this knowing, my soul grew happy, for now I was free. Listen, you spaceborn, hear my wisdom. You do not yet know that you too will be free. Listen again, O man, to my wisdom, that hearing you too might live and be free. You are not of the earth. You are not earthy. You are a child of the infinite cosmic light. O man, do you not know your heritage? Do you not know you are truly the light, son of the great sun? When you gain wisdom, you shall be truly aware of your kinship with light. Now, to you I give knowledge, freedom to walk in the path I have trod, showing you truly how by my striving I trod the paths that leads to the stars. Hearken, O man, and know of your bondage. Know how to free yourself from the toils. Out of the darkness you shall rise upward, one with the light and one with the stars. Ever follow the path of wisdom. Only by this can you rise from below. Ever man's destiny leads him onward into the curves of infinity's all. Know, O man, that all space is ordered. Only by order are you one with the all. Order and balance are the law of the cosmos. Follow, and you shall be one with the all. He who would follow the path of wisdom must be open to the flower of life, extending his consciousness out of the darkness, flowing through time and space in the all. First, you must linger deep in the silence, until at last you are free from desire, free from the longing to speak in the silence. Conquer by silence the bondage of words. Abstain from eating until you have conquered desire for food, which is bondage of the soul. Then lie down in the darkness. Close your eyes from the rays of the light. Center your soul force in the place of consciousness, shaking it free from the bonds of the night. Place in your mind place the image you desire. Picture the place you desire to see. Vibrate back and forth with your power. Loosen the soul from out of its night. Fiercely shake with all of your power until at last your soul is free. Mighty beyond words is the flame of the cosmic, hanging in planes unknown to man, mighty and balanced, moving in order, music of harmonies. Loosen the soul. What was that?
Nothing. I'm trying to respond to Beaufont.
Is that Beaufont? Did he like hack into this live? Is he like gonna, get in here with some bullshit meme or?
Yeah, no, his little comment.
Yeah.
Attention, Beaufont. I'm taking notes.
Distracting.
And I'm reading too, along with him. How about that? A+ student over here.
Maybe this is a good place to stop and talk about a few things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been
There's only like three
time.
little stanzas left, but yeah, that's
Like,
oh lordy.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it really is.
yeah. Then those comments that distract me, I cannot look to the.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I started getting mad. I was like, ooh, I'm going to get over here and tell him something.
you got to get, see, the good thing is, so I have a feature. I've been married, so you have to learn how to turn stuff off. If you've been married, you know how to do that. You just turn it off. Like, I see the comments, but I don't see the comments, and I don't focus on them. So, but ether, what is ether? Let's do that. What is? So they're talking about the ether and basically what the Atlanteans abused the ether.
Yeah.
Into that bag of snakes.
Another section, but yeah, I mean, they abuse their power.
Yeah, that's also what they say in the Vedas. It's the Virata, they call it. The Virata is when you rise your consciousness on the level of the collective of the all-pervading power. That's like the all-pervading power is the divine power. When your consciousness is there, then you use the ether, like actually the deities do, because they fly here, they fly there, they're everywhere. And also, I hear like you put it on Facebook that with Stephen Greer and Joe Rogan, I didn't get it really like the thought of how did we call it? Can you remember, Gerard? The thought of
Spotify.
to travel. Yeah.
Are you talking about them deleting the Joe Rogan?
No.
Yeah, but that
interview on Spotify.
Call it that they tap into.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's
the 0 point.
Yeah, something like that. He calls it, and also another name. Anyhow, and I think that's the same, and that is and I think that's the ether. That's the ether.
So
that's how
interesting to me when you say that, Christine. I forgot. I think I did a video a long time ago. Saj Guru was actually talking about how there's a temple in India that talked about how they had to stop using Vimanas because using the ether, it created some sort of imbalance on Earth, and that the Vimanas, the flying ships, India, somehow abused the ether, and so that's why they stopped using the Vimanas.
Oh, it could be because they were destroyed.
And you use the ether for self, for power, for ego. Or will the universe tolerate that? Just throwing that out. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, right? I'm always like, it's energy and frequency, and I can see it in my head, right? So we all know that the Earth has like a magnetic field and gives off energies, and it probably even gives off energies that we don't even understand yet, right? Which is what most likely the pyramids and all did, hardens energy that we don't get. But, right. It's probably something so simple too. It's probably so simple, but we're so stupid right now. But yeah, so anyway, so Tesla talked about the ether and how he tapped into the ether. And he talked about, when he talked about free energy device, he said that he was going to harness natural energies from within the earth, which those talked about going inside the pyramid into the earth to connect with the earth's fire.
Mhm.
So, and in Tesla's mind, it was going to be actually like a glowing ring around like the equator of the earth.
Yeah.
And he said that that energy would raise the consciousness of human beings. And so I think the ether is some kind of natural energy that comes from within the earth. Now we poison and destroy the earth. So right now that energy is all crazy, right? Because it's totally out of balance. But if we were more natural and balanced with everything, then that ether energy would be more powerful.
Yeah, but I have another interesting idea. I think if you're in the ether, if you can tap into the ether, your consciousness is in a higher place, a very higher place. And I don't know, but if your consciousness is very high, it cannot be polluted by the lower energy. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
what I think, because they never can get there because they don't have a higher consciousness of love. I mean, kind of.
That's my question too. Yeah.
But I don't know, but I might be wrong. Because, yeah, Susan, I think you're right also there. But because a lot of people, they evolve so far and then they collapse. I mean,
Yeah.
simulations collapse. So they
Well,
get destroyed by their own power.
Yeah,
then.
well,
Right.
it's like any energy, right? So as I get this mayonnaise off my face, I apologize. It's mayonnaise. Water, right? Water is energy. And when you dig wells, like one of the big problems out west is in India and other places, they dig wells and they abuse the aquifers and they're pumping so much water out, like in certain parts of Arizona and Texas, they've seen the land drop by 30 feet because they're pumping all that water out of the aquifer. And so when you create an imbalance, when you overdo things, you destroy things. And so to me, the ether could be the same thing on a different plane. I remember the time, I mentioned to you guys, and I'm still really not ready to talk about it because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about or what I would be saying, but I was meditating. And when I was done, I saw vibrating energies coming from going up. And I mentioned that to you guys.
That's the energy.
And I still have no idea what I was seeing, And
that was the old, I think I know. I mean, I think it's the all pervading power that that was around you and actually you were close to and to tap into it and bring to even more deeper meditation, I think.
Yeah. Well, I didn't tap into nothing. Nothing got tapped. There was no tapping going on. I saw something to me. And I was just like, what the hell is that? Like, I just saw this vibrating wave pattern that was coming up from I couldn't tap it. I just barely saw it. But it reminded me of the Wilhelm Reich.
Yeah.
And the help me out here. The
Orgon.
He tapped into, or
he called the ether the Orgon.
The Orgon.
Orgon. Yeah.
Right. So there are a lot of power.
Basically the same thing.
Fields and things out there we know nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
Seems that over time people tap into it.
Right.
And when they do, their devices go missing. They go missing. But either way, if we don't use it in balance, like water or any other energy, too far with it, we destroy it.
When an interesting story about Wilhelm Reich, when he came to Tucson with his Cloudbuster machine, which is basically, a device that he created to break up the severe drought that was created above Tucson by by what he called the deadly Orgon, which is basically, the opposite of chi, or the opposite of ether, a dead zone. And he did it. And supposedly this really pissed off some UFOs, according to some eyewitnesses.
Wow.
So it's an interesting story.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. She's been dying to say something, I think.
So, okay, the ether, right? So there's we all know there's different energy waves, right? Because we even talk about connecting on certain waves with people, or if you become a vaccine zombie, you're not going to be on the same energy wave.
Ovaltine.
Ovaltine, yeah. So, right, so we're all in like different energy waves, right? So I think the ether is like a pure state of energy. Like we were saying, the default state of being is love, right? So if you're on that like default state of love, then you can connect, say, to the ether. Say that's the most powerful energy, right? But like, I know with the reptilians, it's a run joke. I don't know. I just like it, and it's true. And anyway, but there are the stories of Atlantis and how it was. Plato said primordial. Every living creature lived in primordial harmony with nature and each other, whatever. And then Zeus, I think it was, came along and he both was teaching people that, you know, they could they could connect. They didn't need like kings and stuff. Like the divine light was within them. They were the stars. They could connect, right? You could free yourself and be your own king, whatever. And Zeus didn't he wanted to keep the worship. So that's when he started blood sacrifices and stuff. And that is like evil, lower vibrational energy. And that's what took over. And because like it does infect people, right? Because like even us, right? We have our guilty pleasures and we know it's bad, like my sugar and my coffee. I know it's bad, but I still do it, right? So it is kind of feeding that more negative stuff. But I'm just saying, so I think the ether is like the higher, you know, vibrational energy. And then, and then, so right now, especially the way we behave, you know, we're bringing in some bad juju vibe energy right now, so we can,
true.
Yeah, you know.
I think we even don't need those.
Like,
if we are like totally independent, I think even we can do it everything with our mind that is totally enlightened. We don't need those Wi-Fi devices. I assume.
Yeah, we wouldn't need them.
Yeah, I think because that's what the deities don't need them. I mean, they do whatever they want. I mean, they don't have Wi-Fi. They have Wi-Fi. They have everything. I mean, they're on that consciousness. Like also, like Stephen Greer was talking, that they're so high in evolution that the thought does do everything. Like you said, manifesting by thought.
Yeah.
That's so we don't need to have to destroy everything to what we need.
Right. Well, even what does it say? Because even the Hermeticus says it too. The ultimate law of the universe, the you know what I mean, is order and balance. And like I was saying, it's just that everything is so out of balance right now. Yeah. We don't have to like destroy anything or beat anyone or take over, or we just have to balance everything back out.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. The place is already chaos. It's already chaos.
And the mind is crazy, so nothing balance coming. No balance is coming.
Yeah.
It's like
all we have to do is get back to where we were.
Oh, my Pisces theory, my age of Pisces theory. Okay, right. So you know how Pisces Neptune, like king of delusions, right? King of like illusions and tricking people and stuff like that, right? Yeah. And mysticism and everything, right? So we've been in the age of Pisces, and if you think about it, the last 2,000 years have been a total lie.
True.
We keep saying we're being deceived now with Neptune and Pisces. No, we've been deceived this whole age.
Yeah, true. You know it was the age. Exactly.
Yeah.
We've gotten the dark side of Pisces.
Yeah, the dark side. Yes, because actually. Because Jesus, I mean, Jesus was incarnated and was a symbol of the era of Pisces, but he was the compassion. He wanted to bring us to that higher level, but we did the opposite, like always. We do always the opposite what Socrates or what Mohammed or whatever.
We're all really familiar with the darkness of the past 2,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
But and this has been something that's been on my mind a lot lately, because I've studied a lot of this in literature, is that the light keeps fighting to emerge in poetry, in mysticism, in the arts, and the dark just keeps a mystic appears like Teresa of Avila or Meister Eckhart, and what does the dark do? Either smothers it or attempts to co-opt it for its own purposes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you go from mysticism and then the age of religion and into the Renaissance, and you've got Michelangelo, and you've got the David, and you've got Raphael, and those amazing artists that are creating goodness, truth, and beauty. And what happens there? Well, war and persecution and all of it. You can see the thread of the light trying to come out in that 2,000 years.
Yeah.
And it's always there, because the dark cannot destroy the light any more than the light can destroy the dark.
Nope.
You can't.
They have to work together. They drive you. They make up the whole, the yin and the yang. There is no darkness. There are no bad people. There's just us and learning. And if we didn't have each other, we would learn nothing. We'd make no progress.
Buffon says how the Vatican co-opted Christianity. That is basically what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That is basically what happened.
Yeah.
Everything is co-opted.
Yeah. Co-opted.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Because actually, all those the deep state or whatever, all those they keep everything hidden. Why are they so stupid? But actually, if they would just share the knowledge, they would be happy. We would be happy. Everybody would be happy. Actually, they're cheating themselves. I mean, it's true. They make a mess about of everything, and they could have been sharing everything and be happy, and we are happy. Actually, why not? I can't. Yeah. Actually, the thing that clever.
They don't like happiness.
I would say it's more us. We don't like happiness, because what they convinced us is 2 is better than 1. I only need 1, but 2 is better than 1, so I want yours too. And 3 is better than 2, and 4 is better than 3. And
3 equals 4 is racist.
First of all, young spiritual person, all of math is racist, not just addition, all of it. Addition, multiplication, subtraction, all of it. The ancient Indians, because the Indians got it from the aliens, right? So 1 year.
Only aliens and white people do math.
Exactly. One. It was. What do they call it? What are the blonde-haired, blue-eyed aliens?
I'm sorry.
The Palladians.
Palladians.
Yeah, they racist. They all just racist. They brought racist math.
Racist aliens with their math.
Racist aliens with their math.
I come from the Pleiades.
That's how I started. I'm telling you. Listen, this is real knowledge, man. This is.
Did you hear? There is a highway that is racist. Biden said there was a highway that is racist.
What did he say?
The highway, Clay or something. I don't know. It was a racist highway, and I don't know why. A highway, literally a highway. It's
because Portland cement is racist. We know that. It's called Portland.
Yeah, it's a black top. And black cars drive on top.
I see the knowledge. She's dropping the knowledge.
My God. You know what's messed up though? People think like this.
They do. Trust me. I grew up with them. I'm aware of this. They do. And we used to call them crazy back then. I call them crazy now. Nothing has changed. People going crazy. You can't hate them. You just got to accept them for what they are.
But that was the latest. The highways are racist now too. Come on.
Of course.
Yeah,
in a different way. Because if you drive a red car, the police are quicker to stop you than a black car.
Yeah.
Blue car. And that's proven.
Yeah, that's true.
Although I think the red car and the black car are pretty equal now. I think the whole drug dealer thing ruined the red car thing. So I think probably go after the black cars more. So yeah, I agree with John Bowden. All right, you know.
Oh my God! Wait, did you guys? No, I don't want to. Whatever. I'd rather talk about good stuff. But real quick, CNN News.
What is it?
Some I don't know Chinese lady. I don't know who she is. Somebody
Are
that
you
people
sure?
think is important. Somebody people think is important. Okay, so someone who pretends to be important was on CNN, and she said, she goes, well, the danger is, this is why Biden has to like start cracking down with these lockdowns or whatever she was saying, because if they open everything back up at 100%, people are just going to go out without being vaccinated, and then what carrot do we hang in front of them? She literally said that in the interview. She literally said that. Okay. And then she's like, because they'll just be out there celebrating their freedoms like the vaccinated people. And it was like, what? Say that? Yeah, they'll be out there celebrating their freedoms like the vaccinated people.
That's not allowed. That's racist.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Like, there's people, and there's people still like, okay, this is real. I'm putting my mask on, and we gotta stick together. I don't understand.
I saw that. Yeah, it's true. I saw that news also. It's crazy.
Oh my God! This stupidity, the indoctrination, the dumbing down. Holy shit, is that complete? Because how can you not see that?
I mean, we've got on tape basically confessing to the fact that A, they created the virus, and B, it wasn't as effective, meaning it didn't kill as many people as they wanted it to. And what was the response? Cricket.
Nothing.
Cricket.
Yeah. Did they arrest that man? They didn't arrest that man, did they? He admitted. He said he was looking for corporations to make it, and they did.
He admitted to attempted genocide right there on tape.
I heard it. I posted it.
Yeah.
But people, the whole thing though is, to me, it's beyond indoctrination. It's not indoctrination at this point. It's just brainwashing, right? I just left a good conversation about these. These things are the most powerful devices in the world. They have the ability to take all your false beliefs and make them true in your subconscious. And that's what they did for people.
It's the Matrix.
Now that the heroes, and heroes in every Marvel comic I can think of, they always listen to the billionaires and the government and corporations. Now that the heroes who've been masked all this time are saving grandma by getting injected with Ovaltine, they want their reward, and you don't get to share in their reward with them. So yes, they want you to stay on lockdown because you're not doing what you're told to do. You're not obeying. So of course, we saw this before. We saw it. Well, see, now we're going to get in trouble. All right. That's that topic.
Yeah, that's what I said. 432,000 years, Sumerian Kings list, comet impact 432,000 years ago. Oh, yeah. And then there's a couple other Kings lists that go back that far. But this is what I'm saying, okay? So from what we know from older history and even movies and stupid stuff, right? We know history repeats. And we know that we've been in this cycle at least 2 times, okay? Now, if you want to take it on a micro scale with, the 1940s pandemic and compared to now, like we're repeating cycles over and over again. Yeah. Why do we not learn? why do we do the same things over and over? And yet, it may not be like Atlantis flying ships and blood sacrifices with Zeus, okay? That's not the sign right now, right? But it's still the same thing, because when it comes down to it, it's our actions, thoughts, and behaviors that create this reality.
Mhm.
So even though the circumstances are different, the biological, physical, mental, spiritual aspects are still the same.
Yeah. Well, let me break it down for you. It's because everything is racist. The highway, people race. So how is it not racist? Think about this. Perceptionism. Right?
What?
Perceptionism. Hang on, just go with me for a second. Perceptionism.
Okay.
I think it was Jamie Foxx who said it. He's a fool, but that's not the point. So there's a difference between racism and perceptionism. And he was on to something when he thought about that. Your body, when you look at something, you're perceiving something to be threat, friend or foe, right? Fight or flight, friend or fight. So when you look at someone, they don't look like they're from your tribe. They don't look like they're familiar. You would have these needs to put your guard up, right? They're from a different tribe. They're from a different land. They want to rob me and steal my juju bees and my penis sheath and all the stuff that I have, the grass skirt and everything. And you'd be on guard. That has never changed. Since evolution, we've been evolving this tribalism, identify something, determine if it's a friend or foe, be in conflict with it or not. Your tribe is right no matter what. Who's that? Elizabeth is talking about othering, right? Our minds work that way. Not all of us, but most of us. We need to be a team. We need to be on a tribe. Our tribe is always right. And the people we see who don't look like the people we spend the time with the most are dangerous. And that's why we keep repeating the cycle. I think it's deeper than self. I think it's deeper than TV. It's deeper than radio and indoctrination. There is a primordial DNA ism, preference ism, right? Scared people need to be around other people to feel empowered. And that is always being utilized to play us against each other over and over and over. And this is why they don't have to change the schema. The cycle keeps repeating, but the flavor is always different. And they don't have to change their strategies ever, because they can put you in the team with the black people, in the team with the white people, in the team with the Christian people, in the team with the Americans, in the team with the Christians. And they know they can turn you against yourselves and always get their way. The game has never changed because most people can't figure out that they're being gamed.
It really does reduce down, Gerard, down to the fact that because we do not know who we really are, which is we are from the stars.
Yeah,
we have forgotten that, and we think we are this ridiculously silly meat suit. Then they can break us into, okay, you're a white meat suit, and Gerard is a brown meat suit, and you're different than he is, and he's trying to take your cookies.
He's trying to take your
cookies. I tried to tell you, every war has been about women, and people don't seem to realize that. Go, Jonathan.
He related cookies to women. I thought
he did. I saw that.
I was thinking chocolate chip.
Why are you telling on me? Certain people, things for people to pick up, and other people ain't supposed to pick up. You're not supposed to get the answers to the test. You don't know what I'm saying? I'm talking about cookies, deliciousness, Nabisco. Go.
Okay. Nabisco, the poison kind.
Why men
I
always
know where you're going now.
Why men always fight is over cookies. Go, John.
You get no argument from me over that one. No.
You're supposed to bring it back.
Because you know why? Because cooties is racist. Look what Elizabeth talking about. It's the cootie complex.
and then this tribalism, racism, every ism exists to keep you at the surface level and to keep you from remembering who you really are.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yes. Done. Nothing else.
Yeah.
to say. But
And once you realize who you are, you laugh at all that bullshit because you realize that it's all bullshit.
all of it.
Oh,
All of it is.
I paid up now. Damn it. I threw it off.
Are you talking to us or yourself or the ghost?
I'm kind of talking to you and myself at the same time.
All of it. I'm talking to everybody, every dimension right now. Shut up. Let's.
Gemini moon brain. There's like 4 going on right now. Wait, because what you just said, that what we think we really are, and you've read it.
Yeah.
I took notes. Oh,
Cookies is the best cookies is the sugar cookies. It's delicious and the.
no. Okay, so he set his soul free, and whenever he set his soul free, he was free to pursue knowledge.
Yes.
Right? And like Alan Watts talks about to be a fool and enjoy life, and you gotta like forget the bullshit and like, no, you're not here to do this or that or this or that. You're here just to live, just to experience this experience. Yeah.
To pursue wisdom.
To learn and experience and not to. You are of the world. You're in this world. You're not.
Not
Cookies is delicious, but you're gonna get the cuckoo virus if you eat too many cookies. Because the number one comorbidity is cardiovascular disease. You overindulge in anything, and it's gonna be a problem. In the world, not of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you finish your point, Susan, or or were you going to say more? Because
I think I finished it.
She's not sure. Gerard probably cut her off.
that's okay.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I did want to mention though, right? Because you said something in there. But about energy and the sign, you know, because remember I was saying how serpent knowledge, and so we're always taught like there's the eagle, and the eagle kills the snake, and so the snake's bad and the eagle's good, you know what I mean? And so when I was watching the thing about Matthew LaCroix, he was saying how like he thinks it's been all twisted upside down, right? Because there was some god, I forget who now, I think it was Enki, related to the snake. I think it was Enki, so don't quote me on that. And then, but I know Enlil was the bad one. And everybody, so the kings, lords, the bad gods, whatever, they're having you look like upwards, right? Not like upwards at the stars. Like these people are above you. They see everything above you. And so you owe devotion to them and whatever. But the snake is really us, right? It's the earthbound. And so it's us here. And like the Kundalini is a snake shape and the sine waves are a snake shape. And I think like they're twisting that snake stuff to keep us from, because even in the Hermetica, the divine knowledge is called the serpent knowledge or the dragon knowledge.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The north node, south node, it's how you come from your past up to your destiny. That's also the serpent and serpent mounds.
Well, the you know,
I agree. We are
in the go ahead, Charlie. Then I'll go.
No, I wanted to agree with what we were talking about yesterday on the live stream. We are the cancer of this planet. This is what you were saying yesterday, John.
As we are.
We can choose to not be the snake. We can choose to not be the rat dirty bastard. We can choose to not be the old dirty bastard. But as of right now, as a collective, we don't fit in the ecosystem. We don't fit in the planet. We don't fit in the universe. We are the destroyer of planets. We are the destroyer of balance. We are the destroyers collectively, not individually, because there's still too many of us asleep.
When we are in our state of ignorance, we are.
But that's the
When we move beyond that,
but
then
the snake
we
energy
become something different. And hell becomes heaven on earth. Go
yeah,
ahead.
but the
We have to do it together.
The
You
snake
can't do it
is,
individually.
the snake is actually the representation of the Kundalini, and it's coiled in three spiral tree on the sacrum. And when you're not enlightened, it stays sleeping there and keeps you down. But whenever you evolve, that energy can grow, can push through all your chakras, and it's to get out here, and then is the connection. But
Yeah.
and this is the age, and if we don't realize it, if we don't work on it, you're not going to the golden age, because the golden age is everything about that consciousness.
And that arising is the image in the Americas, in the ancient Americas, of the plumed serpent.
Mhm.
The plumed
It's in
serpent.
every culture can that. The Mayas, it's in the Mayas, in the Aztec, yeah.
It's the
And you see
uniting
all
of
this
earth and
jewelry.
air, of the
Yeah.
opposites. It's the uniting of the opposites. The winged serpent.
Yeah, and the Kundalini is like in a curl. It's like this represented, and in many art like this. Yeah, that's how it's. That's actually how it's represented here. You see it?
Yeah.
So
The spiral, and you
the
see
spiral.
that spiral.
And
You
it's
see
in
that
many
spiral
art.
everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere in the
Everywhere.
ancient culture, everywhere. If you
All
go
over the
to,
world.
yeah, Colombia, in Peru, it's everywhere. So they knew the knowledge. It's not new. I mean,
Yeah, but it's in Scandinavian, like older Norse mythology, there's always the snakes. What else? Egypt, there's the snakes. I mean, they wore the snakes on their head. That's what I'm saying. Like
yeah, that's the
it's,
Kundalini.
yeah, right.
But and that's why
And the
actually the
barbarian.
kings, the kings and the pharaohs, if they were enlightened, they could wear it, but later on they were not anymore, because the gods were driven out of went away, like like in that initiation book. So, but the pharaohs later, not they still wear that ornament, but they were not. They had not anymore the knowledge. They just, for them it was a sign of power, but not of knowledge and love. But actually, it was only meant for kings or pharaohs who were like half godlike people, like in the Atlantis, then the people, and then in the initiation of the before the pharaohs, the latest pharaohs, they were the godlike pharaohs, and they were there to teach the people, but it went wrong also. And I think maybe what I'm thinking now, I don't know, it's not in that book, that was maybe the end of a golden age.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going back? Are you talking about the Naga gods from India, the snake gods, the gods that lived in the gardens?
Yeah, but then I'm talking actually about that the time in Egypt when the godlike people were ruling, like they had all the secrets of the pyramids and things like that. So they had that higher knowledge. They were still like with that head, like all their wisdom was, yeah. But that's why they had such kind of head, like how you call. And but they were still half god and half man. But that, I think, then it went down. The civilization went down, down, down. I think that was the end of a golden age. I'm not sure, but it could not be, because the knowledge went gone.
So a couple things there. So one, yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the Egyptian snake gods. That's interesting. I remember when they talked about, I guess what, some priest was asked who built the pyramids, and they replied, the alligator gods. We call them reptilians. Going back to pre-Egypt were the Naga gods from India, and they were said to be snake gods. And so going back even to the previous era, there's these references to creatures that have scales.
Yeah, but then the Nagas were the one who were interrupting actually the evolution, because they were not from they were the opposite. They didn't want the people to evolve. They were disturbing it. But in
right, it's kind of like the Greys, right? The Grey
and the Anunnaki.
Right. And so it's interesting, right? Like you have those that are good, you have those that are evil.
Yeah.
And the color of their skin, the scales, they're the planet that they came from, None of that has to do with whether they're good or bad. They're just like us, right? And so, there were different groups that came here at different times. We called them gods. They were just Native American, Native Orions, people from another continent. It's not, to me, I don't think it's fantastic anymore. In fact, I live in a very interesting time. And I think this topic is right on time because in the last stimulus bill, there was that entry line that said that the Department of Defense, or they have 180 days or something like that to release all the information that they have on UFOs or or whatever.
I thought I would do it.
Yeah. Now, mind you, I think it's BS because I think that there's no law that will make those in power release things that they feel that we should allow to get America to the level where the UK and the Russians are, in which they've already released, large portions of their files. But it's right on time because I think that they're slowly starting to prepare the human race to let them know that you're not the only game in town, that you're not as special as we said you are. That was this narcissistic idea that we gave the species. And there's a lot more going on. But no, I was just getting back to the point. It's fascinating, though, that when you look back, there are all these references to people who look nothing like us, right? About how the gods look, and they still wear masks today. About how not Hopi, the Dogons. In the Hopi, they talked about the ant people who live inside the earth, right? So there's so much that we don't know. But the weird part for me, you guys, is that we live in a time and we're surrounded by people who act like they do know. There's so much more out there that we don't understand.
Yeah. And that's the danger. And literalism has been the curse of Western religion for the last 2,000 years. It has been absolutely devastating for our understanding.
Yes.
And in the Gospels, Jesus has to put everything he says in code. That's why he uses parables. Why? Because of the Pharisees and the religious authorities of his time, which are basically still the same religious authorities today. And that, I'll give you an example. The example of the man possessed by a legion of demons, and he's off in the wilderness. And what is he doing? He is cutting himself with stones. Stone, it represents truth at the literal level. Truth represented at a very low level of understanding. In the desert, when the Israelites are wandering through the desert for 40 years, and they're thirsty, Moses takes his staff and he strikes the stones, and what happens? The stones give out water. Water is a higher level of understanding. And the highest level of truth is wine. And you see that represented in the Gospels by the wedding at Cana, when Christ transforms water into wine. These are the three symbolic levels of truth in the Bible. Why does this have to be in code? Because if you told it straight to people, they probably wouldn't believe you. Why? Because they have isms in their heads. They have control mechanism. And in order to get around that, you have to use code. That's why there's allegories. That's why there's symbolism. That's why we have fairy tales. That's why we have parables in the gospel.
Well, also symbols can be, so you can, if you're trying to get a message across time and space,
yes,
and multiple different cultures, you would have to use symbolism. You would have to use something universal.
Right.
And math is hard. Math is racist, so you can't use math.
Yeah. Did that make sense? What I just said? Hopefully.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, in sense, kind of, yeah.
Basically, I'm paraphrasing what other authors have said.
But wine is also used as uh, it was different in those times than now because alcohol brings your
Yes.
consciousness down. But in that time, there was wine was a high quality of grapes, which tasted like wine but was not alcohol driven.
Yeah.
That's what Srimad, my guru said, because now that the priest drinks wine because they think Jesus made from water wine, but he made it
What does a
like
literal
nectar.
wine do? Say, oh, well, Jesus actually did turn water into wine at the wedding.
Yeah, that's nectar he did, yeah. He made a nectar, yeah. But that's different than alcohol. So, and that's why the church said drink alcohol. So it's,
And of course,
yeah.
wedding is a union of the masculine and
Yes.
the feminine,
Yes.
union of the opposites. And that is transformation. That's what transformation is all about.
Yes.
Uniting the opposites. And what happened? The water was transformed into wine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone made a comment about how they took the the pharmaceutical company with the staff
Yes.
of Hecate, but I know it's in other religions too, whatever. But the two snakes wrapped around it.
Produces it.
That's the DNA. That's DNA.
Yes, it definitely represents DNA. But I also think the two snakes represent, like, you can't just be like you were saying earlier, Christine. Like, you can't just be running around like, oh, I'm good all the time and I'm sweet and I'm nice. And no, like, you're human, so you get angry, you get pissed off, you get annoyed. Like, come on, get sad. It's just the way it is. And so I think that also represents you know what I mean? Like, you have to have that recognition of the dark and the light within you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. And then you grow, and then suddenly you're in the oneness, and then there is nothing. There is no duality anymore.
Right.
So that's what those do. They do the rise, whoops, and you're in the oneness.
Yeah, and coincidentally, it looks like the energy wave signals. Signals. You know what I mean? Yeah. I can't speak right.
Yeah, you do. You do better than me.
I stutter.
And to pile on the parable side, right? So there's a scripture that talks about that the truth isn't for everyone. It's for those who have ears to hear. Right. So some things are put in code because
you have to grow your ears first before you can hear. Yeah. There's a process. There's a step-by-step, and that's what the parable, or not the parable, but the story of Jacob's ladder is all about. That's about transformation too. Mm-hmm. But like a ladder, you don't jump from the first rung up to the eighth. Mm-hmm. You go step by step up the ladder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the other scripture, which is, you have to empty your cup to fill it.
Yes.
Just start piling, yes, you have to empty that indoctrination.
Yeah.
Empty that.
That's the biggest part.
All that tribal cup to actually start filling the cup with goodness, because oil and water don't mix.
Right.
Right.
There's multiple voices in the Bible. Multiple voices.
Because the Bible is not a thing, right?
It's not a thing, and it's an anthology.
Collection, right? It's a very select collection of millions of scriptures and scrolls that the kings maintain over time.
Right.
And, people don't like to hear that, but that's just history.
Some were highly esoteric and designed to aid and initiate in self-transformation, and others were basically the accounts of assholes, and scribes and priesthood defending themselves for committing genocide against the Canaanites and all the other defending themselves and anyway, we could go on for hours and hours about the Bible, I think.
Yeah, but the point is, right,
confusion for us because Pisces has been pretty dark, and it's been controlled. Those scriptures have been controlled by people that do not have that are not interested in self-transformation, that are not interested in liberation of the self at all.
The only interest is controlling the human race.
Yes.
And so the scriptures have been maintained, modified, and shared in part specifically to control the direction of where people go. And the greatest example of that was the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? When they dug those up, they removed all the Gnostic books from the Bible.
Yes.
They removed all the references to giants and aliens. And, they're constantly controlling your belief. So now God is not within. It's not Gnosticism. You can't go to God within. You have to take your money and go to church to get to God. You got to go to fast. The aliens, they don't exist. The giants, they've never existed. You're here. You've only been here for 200,000 years. Before you, there was nothing. But they're removing history so they can keep repeating the cycle. They give you this narcissistic, like the Book of the Watchers, all about the aliens, right? How they just sit back and they watch, right? But that book was removed. Why? Because you got to give mankind this sociopathic, narcissistic idea that they're the only game in town and that they're the greatest and the best. And that's the only way that people will follow the kings who author all the religions.
Yeah, but they didn't indoctrinate us to think we're the best. They indoctrinate us to look at each other as like plagues and the problem with the world. And what if we looked at each other like, you're a beautiful being of light? How different would this world be?
It would go back to the way it used to be.
Yeah. But I wanted to say too, because it sucks because I'm only probably going to get like 75, 80 years before I die. You know what I mean? I want like 200 so I can actually do shit. But whatever.
Then manifest it. Manifest it. Stop speaking as the dead. Manifest that positivity that you will live 200 years. You have the power.
What, for 200 years?
Oh, yeah, you have power.
I know, but I got poisoned food, so.
Yeah, but you can transcend.
Mental, man.
Yeah, but that's biological. Remember this, we are vibrational energy creatures, right? Food is a vibration. DNA is a vibration. None of this can hurt us if we know that it can't. But once again, we're here, and I know it's hard to resonate outside of the reality we've been given since birth. But really at the core, when we really believe that we can transcend those things will be transcended. You could with snakes and you won't get hurt, right? The snakes will bite you. Like, you guys remember that was dancing with the snakes and like, yeah, we can dance with snakes. And, once again, it's not for everybody.
I don't think so.
They were dying. Like a couple of them died. Poison doesn't hurt you if you transcended that, Like the fake, they got the power. No, you got the power. I'm sorry, I couldn't.
But if you have it in that high consciousness, it really doesn't kill you. But we are not yet there.
No, that's what I think about that all the time. When I was younger, this mentor or whatever I had, and he used to always say, because he would say something, and I'd be like, I know, and he was like, but when are you going to believe it? Because that makes the difference. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing.
Yeah. But I was going to say, because you were talking about Pisces and it's been really dark and everything, but if you think about it, so let's try to stay with the positive, right? So if you think about it, we are meant to be more, like we really are, and in the Emerald Tablets, right? You ascend when you toil, when you struggle. That's when you ascend to a next level, right? Or you just fall into the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you just, so it's like you come to this precipice, and evolution, right? It hits a precipice. It's when it's under pressure that it either wipes out or transcends to a higher level. Mm-hmm. So the age of Pisces, because like I said, I'm only getting 75, 80 years, but like life is on a grander scale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 2,000 age years and 26,000 cycles. Like we are really supposed to live a lot longer than we do. And so we don't think of it in those terms, but as a collective, humanity is at this precipice of evolution or hopefully not Wipeout, but I have a feeling.
Oblivion, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
There's a
that's
good
still a
movie
form of
about it.
evolution.
And come out and eat your soul.
And that's still a form of evolution. The human race being wiped out isn't really a bad thing. That's still nature evolving, right? It selected a species that didn't want to move forward.
Yeah.
You know, so it's still evolution. It's not a bad thing.
Creation. A failed creation between all the other creations. Okay, these human beings, that was not such a good idea.
Right. We need to wipe them out, reclaim that energy, and create something that's a step above. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. Like I've always said, I'm on nature's side. I'm on evolution side. I'm not on mankind's side because there's no such thing as man. We're energy.
We've lived
as something else.
Very, very dark, a very, very dark period. And it is easy to confuse that for thinking that human beings are incapable of goodness, truth, and beauty. And we are. And the evidence of that is this.
Yeah.
And documents like it. The records of individual men and women who have transformed themselves into exactly what Thoth is saying here. Transformed themselves, rather remembered who they really are. Which is,
we have to remember. That's the only thing we have to do, to remember.
Yeah.
And, you know, Krishnamurti says, you are the world and the world is you. When you change, the world changes.
Yeah, true.
We are the world.
Because if you think about it,
we are the ones that make a brighter day. So let's start living.
Okay. I know. Monkeys dying. Can we talk about ripples effects across the universe, Gerard?
Resonate. You can shut down resonation. These resonate. Jonathan, we were on that level.
I'm a little mad at myself because I shouldn't interrupt singing because that's good for the soul. So, hang on.
I was feeling Jonathan's message. I was going to get a candle and light that joker.
Yeah, well, that's Jonathan's message, right? Because, like, it's like ripple effects. And I know, like, we say, oh, you know, one action causes another or whatever. But, like, you really don't know just by, like, say some guy was, like, you know, literally contemplating suicide, but you were like, hey, hi, how are you? And just that little bit, you know, kept him from committing suicide. And then, you know what I mean? And then that, you know, now his kids still have a father, and you don't understand how every little reaction does ripple across.
Yeah, true. Moment.
Yeah.
Every moment is,
Yeah. It's like the police pulled me over last night to help me out. I had a light out, and the brothers had my back to stop me, to make sure that, you know, I knew that I need to get my lights fixed in the back of the car. Made my day. They could have beat me the hell up. They didn't do that. They just, hey, brother, you got to get that light fixed there, Bucky. All right. Thank you, sir. You know, you can make it just by shedding a little light. Now, I could have been a jerk. I could have been an a-hole. I could have been, you know, fussing with the police. And if he was having a bad day, he might give me a worse day. But it's funny how what you put, we always get back, whether that goes to someone else. And I could have been a jerk. I wasn't doing anything wrong. You know, he gave me a ticket. I could have cussed him out. But what would he do to the next person? Say he pulled Jonathan over next, and he was and he was just in that mood now to take his aggression out on the population because he has that authority.
This is America. It works in reverse.
I'm changing the paradigm. I'm swirling that joker up. Don't bring that racism around here. You know, but that's the point, because you know what I mean. And the reality is, if you have abuse of power and you are in a mindset, in a mood for abuse, and you're ready to abuse, it doesn't really matter who comes next. It could be a child, it could be a woman, it could be anyone, right? these are the things that we have to get rid of. But no, I appreciate what
Yeah.
you're saying.
That's
Yeah.
demons in our head,
Yeah.
and
Just being-
and we have to get them out.
Just being nice to
Shine the
people.
light
Sometimes
on
they're really can be very
You are
scary.
the change. The reality is you are the world. You are on the Truman
Yeah,
Show, and you are the Truman. It is your world. You will get back, and the whole world will respond to what you do. And that's the power of people that we forgot.
And then we are again about manifestation of thought. If our thoughts are like boom, 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 that's how the world is like this. But if our thoughts are like super balanced, then the world is super
Look
balanced.
at, look at that. Even racist Coco learned it. We're all Africans. Everybody, we all came from the same land. We're all the same people. No matter whether you go to
We're all
science, yes, whether you go to science, because Africa doesn't actually exist. But
No, neither does Earth. We're
right,
light
whether you go to science or religion, we all go back to the same tribe of monkeys, no matter how you put it. We're all related.
And Christine, what you were saying about the demons in your head, I seen a thing before about the love in my heart is stronger than the demons in my head.
Nice, beautiful.
And that's like right now, right? Demons in our head, the whatever radio wave frequency repeating patterns they keep pushing into people's heads. But if they just listen to their hearts and act it out of heart, compassion, love.
Yeah, true. But that's what the Wi-Fi, the radiation, that act on certain levels in your brain, which brings that aggression, I think, more powerful out. That's what I believe.
Right. Yeah, no, I think they do mess with us. Because like I said, my Wi-Fi, my cable box, fixed it with some crystals.
What's that song on Tony Rand? On Tony Rand, his live streams. It's in your head, in your head.
Zombie.
That's right. Yes, exactly. Cranberries.
I saw them in concert.
Did you?
Yeah.
Look at you using that privilege. Go on, girl. When did you see him?
Oh my God. I don't know. 20, 25 years ago or something like that.
Yeah. How did she die? Didn't she die?
Yeah, I think she did. I don't know.
Oh.
Matrix got her. Matrix is everybody. Gotta get out of here.
And that was about the IRA, but that still applies today. That so applies today. The lyrics of that song are amazing. I used to start most of my shows off with that song. There's just so much in it when you read the lyrics. All in your head. And how does it get there? Through devices that are designed to confirm your virus. They can make any reality you want them to make. You are scared of viruses, Ovaltine, Twinkies, zombies, some aliens, whatever it is. They can use this device to confirm your virus to control you, the same way they do with religion. So nothing's about money. It's not about resources. It's all about control. All in your head.
You can't be controlled. If you have no fear, you can't be controlled. Yeah. And once you realize we're all gonna die for real, like I'm gonna say in the 5 minutes or a year, or I don't know those vaccines. I don't say kind of a lot of you, but we're all gonna die. And I think once you accept the fact, like I'm gonna die, and it could be tomorrow, it could be in 50 years. I could live to be 200, right? But I think once you accept that fact, I mean, like when the time comes, I'm sure I'll be a little scared. But when you really think like, I am energy, and I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen afterwards, but I'm not really going to die. And you're not really afraid of that anymore. You get less and less afraid of the Matrix bullshit. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
We have to keep our own mortality in mind at all times, because it can act as a guide for us. when we constantly remind ourselves of our own mortality, then we don't give a shit about 99% of the shit they want us to give a shit about.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter.
Because it's shite.
Because it is exactly, Gerard.
Yeah, I have a bucket list. I have a on Earth bucket list, and I got an after Earth bucket list. I got places I want to go.
Wow.
I got places I got to do.
Yeah,
The
Planning.
Orion.
chariot with Norwegian cats that pull the chariot, and I want to go down the Milky Way. I want to go see Sirius. I'm going places after I die.
It's nothing to be scared of, right? I'm gonna do, and you got time travel too, right? Because I'm gonna go back and see how they built the pyramids. I want to see what the Sphinx looked like before they modified and social, cultural, racial appropriated his face into something back when he was a lion. I want to go to the Pleiadians. I want to go to Sirius. I want to go to Orion. I want to go to all the places that visited us. Hey, go visit the monkeys over there. But I got my Earth list, and I got my after Earth list. And so, I don't think death is anything to be feared. I think you just need to enjoy yourself wherever you're at. You need to live free. Slavery is a choice, and don't have any fear. I'm gonna live my life. As long as I live my life, it's gonna be an organic, natural human in balance with this ecosystem as much as I can, with a little bit of international creamer on top. It's not gonna be any of the poisons that they choose. It'll be the poisons that I choose.
Right over here.
I try. You know what, John? I failed. I tried, Jonathan.
I know it.
I tried so hard to get rid of international creamers. I put my foot in it. And I failed. I totally failed. I tried a bunch of stuff.
Well, maybe we should make a creamer, an organic creamer. That would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need a good recipe. I just need the one day I'm gonna succeed, but this is like the 8th time I failed. Give it up. But the point is about being an organic human. I'm gonna determine what poisons go in my body. You will never, ever, ever determine what poisons go on. I don't care if you boo-boo, Tink, Bill Gates, Fauci, and all the zombies that's following the world, billionaires and the elites not saving grandma. You ain't never going to determine what goes in my body. Because I got a post-life bucket list. I'm excited about that. And I got the organic human bucket list, and I'm excited about that. But I'm going to win either way. You're never going to control me.
And I wanted to say, too, I think, okay, so whatever, we're talking about death and stuff and not being scared. But if you really just live in the moment, right? And think about, we do have, an awesome planet. I mean, come on, the mountains, waterfalls,
spectacular.
Meadows, right? And then on top of that, we get to interact with each other and have, have you ever had, an intense feeling of, love or playfulness or happiness or creativity or accomplishment? Moments mean a lot to me. I like moments more than things, you know what I mean? And I think we get to experience it. It doesn't have to be this shitty, I gotta do this and I gotta do that and I gotta get this and I gotta get that.
Life is a collection of beautiful moments.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing. If we realize we don't have to be in this weird matrix labyrinth maze going through these metal machine motions, we're organic creatures. We're supposed to be out there playing and touching and feeling and having fun and exploring and thinking new things, not, whatever.
So, Gerard, why do you get only the hearts? We don't get the hearts. It's not fair.
Well, technically,
Gerard's favorite.
The hearts are fake news because those hearts were for the person who's talking. It's just the software, right? So when people press the thing, you'll see them a few seconds after they're appreciating or not liking what the person just said. But it's the way the software is set up.
Okay.
But it's not for me. It's for whoever just talked. All of those hearts that had nothing to do with me. They don't give two damn about me. These bastards don't care nothing about me. I get to talking. I got like air. There's some stars and stuff back here. Don't nobody want to hear me say no damn nothing. But Susan talk, you talk, Jonathan talk, got all these hearts and stuff. It makes y'all feel like, oh, they just giving hearts to Gerard. No, they're not. They're giving. When I say nothing, it's crickets on the screen. Crickets. They used to do that when I used to sing in the morning. They give me some, like they give me love and stuff, sing with me. They don't do that no more. They mad. It's like Beaufont. I caught him the other day, Jonathan. I was watching y'all stream the other day. I caught that back the other day. You said, oh, we should invite Gerard. And what did Beaufont say? No, I don't invite him because I'm mad at him. And you were like, what did you do? What the hell? Why are you? What's the aggressiveness? And he's like, I don't know why I'm pissed off at him, but I'm pissed. Give me a minute, I'll figure out why I'm pissed at him. And it's just like you take in people's energies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's out there. He's listening too. He's waiting. He's like, collecting his material, and he's probably already making the next battery of memes right now.
Yeah, he is. Is. He's just trying to figure out what I was eating. That's why I was eating down here, so you could see it. Right. Once again,
he knew.
Somebody just posted it. Rebecca posted. Somebody posted it. Your poisons matter. Where is it?
Your poisons matter.
Chosen poisons matter. You choose your own day. My poisons are for me. There you go. Who's that? Holly, right there. Boom. The chosen poisons lives matter. I chose my poison. It's right there. You'll never get to know what it was because you're gonna make a meme at it. It's my body. It's not your body.
I don't know, because I need to breathe air and it's full of all kinds of poisonous shit. And I didn't put it there.
But still. Yeah, but still, you know what? The trees still are are blowing or growing, and the plants are still the flowers are still blooming. And I think, every time, as long as Earth lives, we can still live. I mean, that's my thing nowadays.
Yes,
because it makes me so happy.
You got there. Discount peanut butter. There it is, right there.
There you go. Look at this.
Raspberry.
Yummy.
Oh, don't. That's not raspberries. Don't believe that. That's a lot.
It's combo PB&J.
That's not That's like cuckoo virus and glyphosate and some red.
Only serial killers do that with their.
That is not raspberries. So I'm gonna explain what I'm doing because people are like, what the hell? I thought he was a healthy. He's eating healthy and stuff. These are my last dirty foods before I'm 100% off grid, eating all my food like I did last year. So I'm enjoying the last of my sins, my sins. And after this, me and raspberry fake chemical peanut butter, we're gonna get a divorce. It's gonna be lettuce and smoothies from there on out. So I'm enjoying the last of my Poison America, get the cuckoo virus food, and then I'm gonna be eating all my own food. I grew all my own food last year, but I didn't eat it all. I still had the grocery store. This year, I'm done. And maybe, Christine, because what you were talking about from the high wire today, right? There are people who got a thing, and that thing that you got ain't the thing that you thought that you got. Some that you.
Oh, we can call it the donut. We're talking about. They'll all know what we mean. So we don't get banned. We'll call it a donut. Everybody gets a donut in their arm.
Oh yeah.
Do you know that that's what Ovaltine was, woman? Do you know that we was calling it Ovaltine for? Where was you at when we sent the email out?
Yeah, I picked up on that. Okay, Ovaltine. But I'm saying people will know the donut because you know what they're. Yeah, we're getting donuts for our souls.
You need to cut back on the mushrooms, girl. You need to chill. You might got one. You thought it was a white button mushroom. It was another kind of mushroom. That's what Ovaltine was. You gonna change? I'm fine.
I like donut. Hey, everybody, vote me on the comments. Donut, right?
Y'all watch this. Y'all watch what happens. Watch. She said it. Watch what's gonna happen. You can see all these hearts and likes and smiles and everything. We want donut. We don't like Ovaltine.
Yeah, because you know the Krispy
Just a
Kreme
minute.
thing.
Huh?
We see the Krispy Kreme, the Krispy Kreme thing.
Huh?
You don't know that? You get free Krispy Kreme donuts for a year if you get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mutants.
This is
if you take
confusing.
if you take the
As if the
Obama
zombies
thing, yeah,
needed
that's
any more
it.
incentive to get the jab, you know?
Yeah.
If you take the
So wait a
jab, you
minute.
get a Krispy Kreme donut.
So
You didn't know?
if you get the cure for the thing that comes from eating too much sugar, they're gonna give you some more sugar. That's the comorbidity of the thing that you got the cure for.
Yeah.
And people see
For
that's
your
how you know.
safety.
This is how you know we are at a paradigm shifting moment. Because if you understand what the hell I just understood, you'd be smacking everybody in line right now. That's crazy as hell. You're gonna go to Krispy Kreme and get a bunch of sugar for getting saved from something that mostly affects people who eat too much sugar.
Yeah. You just have to walk up to the machine and pour the glaze right in your face.
I was safe, grandma. You know. Survival of the fittest never stopped. It's still going. It's just survival of the wisest. If you can see shizzle, you'll survive. If you can't see through it, you'll not survive. Right?
It's very simple.
So yeah, I'm fine with donut or oval. I just like Ovaltine because it kind of rhymes a little bit, kind of with the thing.
Oh yeah, it does.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah, but since they're giving out some donuts for it, I think we should call it donuts. I really like it.
I know it doesn't matter what I say. You're the woman, so women say stuff, and people like, yeah, let's go do it. Then, you know, so. That's all I can do.
Women privilege. I just got it all. I was easy.
Hey, Lori.
Smooth sailing.
Yeah, and if anybody believes that, so go down that road. Ancient knowledge.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
I'm trying to relate it to if there was a circumstance where in ancient times people were this stupid.
Yeah, I'm
sorry,
really
wrong
wondering.
word.
I'm really wondering.
If
That's
people
the biggest
were this
virus.
ignorant. If people
No,
were
it's
this
stupid.
ignorant.
No, that's not ignorance. That's stupid. Now it's more
Try to
stupid.
be nice, Christine.
It's Plato, Emerald Tablets, and the Hermetica all say the same thing. Atlantis fell because it was greed and ignorance.
Yes.
Yeah. But now there is ignorance and more stupidity. I'm sorry. There's a difference between ignorance and stupidity. Stupidity. It's like, come on. But you read on Facebook, I cannot.
Is the will involved? The will chooses. What does it choose? Well, fundamentally, we choose either consciousness or unconsciousness. That's the fundamental choice that we have to make.
Yeah.
And we choose it by our actions every day.
Yep. Speaking of unconsciousness, so one thing that crossed my ears.
What? You're speaking of unconsciousness, and I said there's both.
I didn't hear that. What was it? No.
Oh, okay. No, she was
always there.
Sorry.
She was resonating with the mushrooms in Beaufort and unconscious because he does that conscious thing, that super intellectual thing, and then he takes it down to like dirty town or crazy town. He goes back and forth. Unconsciousness. No, it was interesting. Somebody sent me yesterday, abused my earlobes in my brain with the fact that Black churches are going around and encouraging people to go out and stand in that line for the donut. Because the woman who patented the donut is a Black woman.
Oh my God.
And people are jumping up and running because they take that the ism and they feed it to you and make it so obvious that they're trying to scam you into something. That's what I found out a few days ago, and I
That is
really didn't
really
reply. I
funny.
just heard and I was like, yeah, okay. Well, maybe it's a good idea. Maybe you should judge people by the color of their skin instead of the content of their character. The fact that they created something that's causing a lot of problems and killed thousands of people, and probably will end up in autoimmunity. But we won't go there.
Yeah, true.
Because the person has.
Imagine the face they make when they die and realize that they weren't actually a skin color.
There was not a good gun.
You mean to tell me that was just a bug in a meat suit, and that was just the color of my scales?
We're all rainbows, like the stars. That's all I'm saying.
To me, it's the waste of a life of a spiritual vibrational creature, a god or goddess, to be focused on and have a life that's driven by something that's not even related to what you are.
Yes, yeah.
It's insanity. I mean,
it's insanity. Yes, that's what I mean. I think that's the virus now. Insanity is growing by the minute. You can't make it up, and I think now people cannot go lower anymore, and still can't. Still, every time if I read something new, what?
Oh no, they can go lower.
But it has to go lower.
For 2 more years, they can go lower.
Oh my God, I still have to survive those 2 years, but not a year.
It has to go low. The only way for the Kali Yuga to come to an end and to begin Sati Yuga is that you really got to get to the depths of the end of this cycle, and will go as low as it needs to until people are ready to reboot and go back to being what they truly are and remember what they really are. So it'll go low as it needs to.
Yeah, and like, because we talked about this before, right? Where it's like you have to, becoming yourself is more of an unshedding of everything you learned, and like coming to this base level of like, I don't know shit. I don't even know who I am, and all that is crazy, and I'm just gonna go from this day forward trying to figure out, what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? And not even in a big sense, but as in you here in this moment. Does that make sense?
All there is the now. There is no future.
Yeah, true.
No past.
And the
all there
humbleness.
is the now.
How more we know, how less we know. How less we know, we realize we don't know nothing. That's actually a good prayer. I'm nothing, so that you're open for the other divine knowledge. It helps. I'm nothing, but not nothing in the sense that I am. Yeah, I like it in a lower sense, but nothing like.
Right.
Yeah, in another way, in a humble way.
Yeah.
It's all about discovering what we really are.
Yeah.
And at first that means discovering what we're not.
Yeah.
And what did we just read? We are starborn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer Lori's question real quick. She asked me if I've missed our morning live stream, that 3-hour live stream, and I have to answer honestly and say no, I don't. Not at all. I don't miss it one bit. Not at all. Nope, not in the slightest. I miss the people. I miss our interactions. I miss the jokes. I miss the fun. But we have to move on to other things. I just feel like, right now my life is shifting, and, we'll eventually do some sort of regular live stream with the family again. But it's going to have to be under different contexts. You're not allowed to speak honestly on Facebook. Like, we can laugh about donut, we can laugh about Ovaltine, but to a degree, we're supporting those that we need to be opposing by actually just being here, like, to a degree. So I don't like talking in code. I miss hanging out with the people. But to a degree, I need to keep evolving, and I'm not evolving if I'm running my mouth 3 hours this morning, right? I need to learn more, and I need to share more.
There is a time and a place for everything.
There's a time and a place
under the sun. That's
everything evolves. Yeah.
everything changes. If you're not changing and evolving or transforming in some way, whether it's good or bad, you're dead.
It's stagnating.
Yeah.
We cannot
Right.
stagnate. We always have to flow. Yeah. And there is always
Yeah.
something. If the door is closed, another door opens. If we
Mhm.
don't keep hold on to the door that closes.
Yeah.
But I think you got to be honest with yourself, and you know, you when you're kind of just digging your own hole, and I kind of saw it as that I'm just digging a hole. You know, there are things that I need to be doing. I think there's people I need to be helping in different ways. You know, so you know, we just have to evolve and be honest with ourselves. And you know, when some doors close, other doors open. We just have to keep going in that direction. Nobody knows what tomorrow brings, but I think we just have to be honest with ourselves and keep walking in the direction we see that you know our spirit, our self, whatever it's taking us. But these lives are still here. We're here every Friday,
Mhm.
so and you don't have to hear me singing.
Go
because
live when you want to go live. Go live when
Yeah.
you have something to talk about.
I have 3 people that'll stop me from singing too. So there you go. So this is everybody. See, nobody could stop me when I was by myself.
I let it go on for a minute. I just didn't want to lose my thought.
I let your crazy out for just a few minutes, Jerome. That's it. Yeah.
So, are we gonna finish it next week? Because
There's
It's
there's
definitely-
really
there's too
like
much.
not even half a page
Yeah.
left. You want me to just
Yeah.
finish up that section? That way next week we can start with another
Yeah,
one.
true. Because that's
Okay.
nice we talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
remember
just
that.
could feel
It's
not
like-
more like that, and this talking is nice afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. This won't take long at all.
yeah,
Okay.
'cause it's like
Yeah, It's
I don't know,
almost
6 a.m. for Christine.
What?
So what is it, like
It's,
6 a.m.?
1:15 a.m.
Okay.
Okay.
Not
That's
too bad.
okay.
This is not even 10 minutes here. So
Okay.
yeah.
No, it's okay.
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 Mighty beyond words is the flame of the cosmic, hanging in planes unknown to man, mighty and balanced, moving in order, music of harmonies, far beyond man, speaking with music, singing with color, flame from the beginning of eternity's all. You are the spark of the flame, O my children, burning with color and living with music. Listen to the voice, and you shall be free. Consciousness, freed, is fused with the cosmic, one with the order and law of the all. Man knew not that out of the darkness light shall flame forth, a symbol of all. Pray this prayer for attainment of wisdom. Pray for the coming of light to the all. Mighty spirit of light that shines through the cosmos, draw my flame closer in harmony with you. Lift up my fire from out of the darkness, magnet of fire that is one with the all. Lift up my soul, you mighty and potent. Child of the light, turn not away. Draw me in power to melt in your furnace, one with all things and all things in one. Fire of the life strain and one with the brain. When you have freed your soul from its bondage, know that for you the darkness is gone. Ever through space you may seek wisdom. Be not bound by fetters forged in the flesh. Onward and upward into the morning. Free flash, O soul, to the realms of light. Move in order, move in harmony. Freely move with the children of light. Seek and know my key of wisdom. Thus, O man, you shall surely be free.
Beautiful.
Move with the children of light, and you shall be free.
That's the enlightened people, I think. The children of light are the people
Yes.
who are enlightened. Yeah.
Mhm.
Quiz. Is that the people who listen to Bill Gates?
Yeah, already know the answer to that.
Is that the people or better yet, is that the people who listens to any or anything but their true self?
That's a beginning. They're the enlightened people. The true self will bring you where you need to be. But you have to hear the silent voice.
Any or anything but their true self.
What is that?
Echo.
What are you are watching us while we're on here? You hear that, right?
Yeah, it's like an echo. Somebody's watching it delayed. It's syndication already.
Where's my royalty check?
Yeah, I know.
Well, they're not that Michael Dell or whatever. She can. You know, smoke with other people.
Sorry.
It's
My mom.
Oh, hey, Mom.
FBI agent. That's who it is. It's her FBI agent.
Yep, that was, yep. Because she's sitting at the office. They just in the office. She's in a corner cubicle, and they got the back designed to look like a house.
Right.
She's sitting at the office. She's looking at like 300 other FBI agents.
Apparently, ever. I love them.
Jeannie, he was reading from the little tablets, tablet 4.
Yes, that was tablet 4. Tablet 4 is. Let me give you the title again.
Hold on. Oh, go ahead.
It's on the screen.
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Somebody
Is it on
named
the screen?
Jonathan.
I typed that in. I typed that in for Deborah because she asked. But we were reading tablet 4, Deborah, and tablet 4 is titled "The Spaceborne." That's us. We are not from here.
Nope. You just via a cookie. You're not from the cookie. You're from space.
And okay, so it says, "Oh my children." Okay, like you're the spark of the flame art thou, oh my children, burning with color and living with music, right?
Really beautiful. Yeah.
And what was it? Tesla called it the music of the ether.
Yes.
You heard
Pythagoras called it the music of the spheres.
Yes. Yes. So I do think there's an energy wave music, the ether, whatever you want to call it, that we can tap into.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And Confucius called it the singing of Gerard.
He might have.
Because he was confused. All right. Last words, people. Actually, because it's getting cold, I got to go outside. I got plants to bring in because it's going to be free. So,
okay.
My life is I never get to take much of a break. Let's wrap this bag of snakes, this ugly bag of chapter 4 snakes up.
This is about freedom. It's about total freedom.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have to say.
Find the light in yourself.
Yes. Find the light in yourself.
Truthful. The light is there always, but be true to your light. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Watch your body language, because if you know how body language, you know exactly when you're not true, when people are not true to themselves, when you are not true to yourself. You can, it does do a lot. It's actually extremely interesting. I was reading about it. Body language does say a lot.
Yeah.
Live your life like you hear music everywhere you go.
Yes.
Yeah, also.
Music of the ether.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're a componist, are you a componist? You can also one who makes music. Compounds is that in Flemish it's you make music, you componing music. Is that
Composing.
English too?
Composing.
Composing.
Yeah, I think his name was Bismarck. His name was Bismarck. He said, "Make the music with your mouth." I think that's what he was.
But I think the really big composers like Mozart, Beethoven, they hear the music in the air. Really, and that's why they got in tune with that part of the ether, I think.
I'm not the first person that said this about Beethoven. Many other people have said this, that he went deaf And that was his spiritual lesson so that he could hear the music of the spheres.
Yeah.
See, I thought you were just going to call him a racist white supremacist, but you know.
I leave that to my classmates at the university.
I'm sorry, we're supposed to be setting them up, knocking them over.
Yeah, 75%
right,
of that is white guilt. So, you know,
it's
seriously, it's boring as fuck.
Yeah.
So the beautiful thing is, to anybody who doesn't understand what we're doing, if it's trollable and it's ridiculous, then it's ridiculous. Trollable, then it was given to you by trolls. That's mostly what we're doing when we make these jokes.
Except me, I'm really racist.
Like at a certain point in time, we have to evolve beyond the ridiculousness that the global billionaires and governments give us to keep us. Susan, you want to give us your wrap up? I'll give my take on it and then we'll get out of here.
Stereotypes are awesome, not racist. Okay, so let's get that straight. No, honestly, I always say this, right? Because we are energy waves, frequencies. You have to have sound. You know what I mean? There's got to be two things. And so I always say that we are love songs written by the universe.
It's nice.
Ooh,
That's what we are.
Nice.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love that.
Yes.
Ooh, yes. I am a song. Let me sing. Damn it.
Be lovey towards each other and change this.
Yes. Be a melody. Everybody together. Everyone's got their own rhythm.
But not melody.
Together.
Yeah, the dance of life. Exactly. We're all music. Dancing.
We're all music. Make that music with your mouth.
20 toes and getting some rhythm.
Yes.
That's for white people. White people can't do it. Isn't that what they say?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, nope, it's not gonna get let go till they let it go. So it is what it is. You know what, the thing I take from it the deepest is just, I don't know where I got it from. I listen to so many people, I get so many like wise things from older people. Most of my friends are a lot older than I am. But you're supposed to look around you, right? Look at the people who you're standing with and the people you're living your life with. And if you don't see those people resonating light on the world, you don't see them as beings of light, you really might be around the wrong people. And I think an old guy, somebody put to me a long time ago, was, you're standing in a line and you look to your left and you look to your right. You see demons, you see people bringing darkness, people bringing sadness, people bringing depression, people bringing violence, people bringing conflict and problems. You're on the wrong side. So what I take from that is, you look around and you want to make sure you are in the right line, the right lineup, the people who are bringing love. No matter what the question is, the answer is always love.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the depth of that statement that Jonathan, you read last, was if you want true freedom and you want true salvation, whatever that is, it only comes with going with people who are lighting up the world who are going in that direction.
Well, earlier before we started, you were saying how, so like we're human, right? So we're gonna get angry and we're gonna get mad and sad and lonely and whatever. But as long as your default state, you're like kind of constant, is love, then you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're not doing anything out of a bad place.
Well, because if you're honest with yourself, the way I see it is that people will take those dark moments and turn them into light. I've seen people take bad interactions and turn them into, beautiful recoveries, right? But we have to be honest with ourselves to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And be honest with the people around us and be flawed, be vulnerable, be human, to know that you're greater than that and admit the human side of you is flawed and be honest about your failures, and you can turn them into triumphs. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have to be honest with ourselves. We have to learn how to be honest with ourselves, and then we have to actually do it.
Mhm.
Because they say
We can't.
they say your life, your happiness, whatever, is what 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it.
Yes.
It's how
It's
you
true.
perceive it. So, and it's true. It's true. Because even in a bad situation, when you look at yourself and you're like honest with yourself, it's like, yeah, I saw that sign and I ignored it, or my gut told me not to and I didn't listen. Like if you look back, there are, you know what I mean? You have to take responsibility for your part in it too. No matter how
Your
horrible it was,
choices.
you do have a part in it. You know?
Mhm. Yeah.
I want to bring out Bofon's comment here. Meditation starts with self-honesty.
Yeah, true.
Absolutely, it does. In fact, it is it's like the yellow brick road. You don't leave it. You never leave self-honesty. You never leave being honest with yourself when you need to, which for most of us is a good part of our time, you know.
For me, meditation starts with folding my leg up till I fart. So,
Lord.
you gotta fold your legs. You got to get that thing. You get your legs folded, and you know, you can really focus on the oneness in the universe. I'm being honest. I don't come here to lie to y'all. I'm gonna tell you, meditation with me, it starts with relieving myself so I can focus. You got to focus. Hold up, you know. So, all right, there you go. Hey, listen, it was great seeing everybody. Yeah. You guys have a wonderful weekend. This is Christine, Jonathan, Susan, and Gerard. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Love y'all to death. We are out.
Bye-bye.
Happy New Year. I forgot.
Break the chains that bind me, 'cause I wanna break the chains that bind you. Do you wanna set the world free, have perfect harmony? Isn't it time for that? Do you wanna free, boom, 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 free the people? Do you wanna free, boom, 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 free the people from the bottom to the top? Make modern slavery stop. Do you wanna let go of the prisoners? See everyone happy. We can have this and more if we open up the doors. Well, what do you think about that? Do you wanna free, boom, boom, free the people? Do you wanna free, boom, boom, free the people and Mother Nature too? Close down all the zoos. Do you wanna boom, 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 boom? Do you wanna boom, 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 boom? Do you wanna free,